to the newborn King. I don't know the rest of the words, so I'd have to look at the music book or what have you. So I was thinking of Hark the Herald Angels Sing because in New York City they brought up Herald Square, and Herald Square is around Macy's. It's like Macy's Herald Square. And it came up during one of their news conferences because of some, really sad news about some woman being set on fire on the subway, on the Brooklyn line, the F line, which goes all the way out to Coney Island. Coney Island's like the last stop, I think, on that line. I'm almost certain, that's a pretty long ride if you were to take it from Manhattan. Like, you could get on in Manhattan and go straight all the way out. It's like, an hour or more ride, I think. So, should we go left or right or straight? They left? We got a singer over here. Oh, wait, he's usually over it. Alright, we'll go this way instead. Good. This way. Alright. So that guy's usually singing in different locations throughout the year, and he has like a usual playlist or set list. And of course here at Christmas time he's gonna sing some Christmas songs. It's rare to see him over here at Rittenhouse Square. He's over by the Resurrection Church, which is near me, like where I come out at 17th and Walnut. It's actually on Sansom and Walnut, between Sansom and Moravian. So wow, really pretty pink sky all the way out there. We'll be heading there. It's like a pinkish fuchsia purpley sky. So we'll head on out that way. It's amazing. So beautiful sunset tonight. But the word herald isn't used that often. I mean, at Christmas time it's used because you have the angels heralding with their trumpets and everything. And maybe with news they'll use the word herald. So, familiar face there just passing by. She used to show up at the Latimer Starbucks, which is no longer open. And every once in a while, us seeming single ladies who are sort of have to keep ourselves occupied run into each other on the streets of Philadelphia. So, wait, how do we get over to the... Anyway, so herald is a word that you rarely see except for Christmas time. I guess if you're in New York City, you would see it with Herald Square, Macy's. But I'm trying to think, maybe with the news, because it's, you're heralding the news, and it's sort of like the crier, herald. It can be a noun and a verb, I guess, or an adjective. I'm sorry, a verb and a noun. Right. I will have to look into it later. But I thought of that song, and I guess, on a positive note, like, it can be very glorious in this, like, beautiful idea of, this concept of a king being born. Not that one person should have that. Of course, in the biblical realm, that would be, the idea of, Jesus, which is, he's supposed to represent a more beautiful divine being who, was sacrificed for our sins and so forth and so on, but someone who was persecuted, who was basically good, amongst all the bottom of the, barrels, what I would say, the bottom of the Titanic. So anyway, like the worst, not that they're horrible, but the worst of the worst, of people who are hypocrites and need someone else to to take the blame, or sort of like they need someone to poke at, or I don't know what the best word is, but anyway. But what I thought of, because the word herald came up with this news conference about this woman who was set on fire by this guy, and I would say that guy, they use the word depraved. I would say he doesn't even know who he is. He is probably handled And in a way, some people would see him as, you know, the worst word would be a puppet, or he's part of a machine, and one of the worst machines that sometimes runs for whatever reason. But my issue is this woman set on fire. You know, what could be worse? You know, there was a guy who self-immolated, which is setting yourself on fire. And this was during like the first day of the Trump trial in, you know, Manhattan, downtown, down there near the financial district and everything. It's right down in that sort of vicinity, as opposed to being up by, you know, Central Park or anything like that. So that's weird. Like, how many times do you hear about people setting themselves on fire or someone setting another person on fire? This is a very like specific image. It's one of the worst ways. It's one of the worst images for any of us. Anyway, I thought to myself, it's odd that these two things sort of correspond with New York. They're both New York. Usually that makes worldwide news or like big time national news, something like that. And, you know, they're both sort of in relation to Trump sort of being front and center, and this would be the time period when, you know, in January, slowly transitions will be made. The inauguration will be on the 20th, which happens to be Martin Luther King Day, so they're coinciding together this year. I can see the purple-ishness on the building. I'm hoping to see the purple sunset. It's hard to see. It was easy to see from a distance. So we'll go this way, and it might be too hard to catch, you know, if we're not quick enough, but